Maya and Zara stepped into the private terminal, their designer bags gleaming under fluorescent lights. The receptionist's smile vanished. Her eyes narrowed, scanning them from head to toe. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice dripping with false politeness, "but this area is for confirmed passengers only. You might want to check the main terminal." Zara's jaw tightened. "We have reservations. Flight 723 to Miami. Under Dr. Chen's account." The receptionist's fingers hovered over her keyboard, barely touching it. "I'll need to verify that. This seems unusual." Unusual? Maya's voice cut through the tension like a blade. "What exactly seems unusual about two passengers with confirmed tickets?" A tall manager in a crisp suit appeared from nowhere, his presence commanding immediate attention. His nameplate read Richard Sterling, Terminal Director. He crossed his arms, blocking their path to the boarding gate. "Ladies, I'm going to have to ask you some questions. How did you acquire access to this exclusive service? Do you understand the costs involved here?" Security guards materialized on both sides, their hands resting on their belts. The implication hung heavy in the air, thick and suffocating. Zara pulled out her phone, her hands steady despite the rage burning in her chest. "We're Dr. Chen's daughters. He booked this flight 3 weeks ago. Check your system." Sterling barely glanced at the screen. "Anyone can claim anything. I've seen this before. People trying to sneak into places they don't belong, using stolen credentials or fake reservations. This terminal serves a very specific clientele." Other passengers gathered near the windows, their whispers creating a chorus of judgment. Some pulled out phones, recording the confrontation. A woman in pearls shook her head disapprovingly. An elderly man muttered something to his companion, loud enough for everyone to hear. Maya felt her sister's hand squeeze hers, a silent message of solidarity. They had faced this before, in restaurants, in stores, in countless spaces where their presence was questioned. But this felt different. This felt dangerous. "Call Dr. Chen," Maya demanded, her voice unwavering. "Right now. Let him confirm who we are." Sterling's smile was cold, calculated. "I don't think that will be necessary. What I think is necessary is for you two to leave before this becomes a legal matter. Trespassing is a serious offense." The automatic doors whooshed open behind them. Heavy footsteps echoed across the polished marble floor. Everyone turned toward the sound. A man in a captain's uniform strode through the entrance, his presence commanding instant respect. 4 stars gleamed on his shoulders. His face was stern, carved from stone and determination. He stopped directly in front of Sterling, his head forcing the manager to tilt his head back. "What's happening here?" Sterling straightened, his confidence returning. "Captain, we're handling a situation with 2 individuals attempting to access the terminal without proper authorization. Nothing to concern yourself with, sir." The captain's eyes moved to Maya and Zara. Something shifted in his expression, a warmth breaking through the eyes. "These are my daughters." The word hung in the air like thunder before lightning strikes. Sterling's face drained of color. Your daughters. Captain Marcus Chan. Not just Captain." His voice dropped, each word landing like a hammer blow. "Founder and majority shareholder of Apex Aviation. The airline you work for. The terminal you manage. The company I built from nothing." The receptionist stumbled backward, her hand flying to her mouth. Security guards exchanged panicked glances. Sterling's confident posture crumbled, his shoulders sagging under the weight of his catastrophic mistake. Marcus stepped closer to his daughters, placing protective hands on their shoulders. "These brilliant young women, who you judged without knowing anything about them, are Dr. Maya Chen, cardiovascular surgeon, and Dr. Zara Chen, aerospace engineer. They've achieved more before 30 than most people do in a lifetime." He turned back to Sterling, his eyes blazing with controlled fury. "But even if they weren't doctors, even if they had no accomplishments, even if they were simply two young women trying to board a flight they paid for, your behavior would be unacceptable, disgusting, and grounds for immediate termination. Sterling tried to speak, his mouth opening and closing like a fish gasping for air. Sir, I didn't know. I was just following protocol. Protocol. Marcus's voice rose, filling every corner of the terminal. Show me the protocol that says you judge passengers by their appearance. Show me the policy that allows you to assume criminality based on someone's skin color. Show me where it says you can humiliate paying customers because they don't look like what you expect. Silence crashed through the space. The recording phones remained raised, now capturing something entirely different than their operators had expected. Marcus pulled out his own phone, his fingers moving with practiced efficiency. Security, this is Captain Chen. I need you to escort Richard Sterling from the premises immediately. His employment is terminated effective now. Same for the receptionist at desk 7. HR will contact them regarding final payments. He looked at the gathered passengers, his gaze sweeping across their guilty faces. Anyone else have concerns about my daughter's boarding this aircraft? Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Shame painted every face in shades of regret. Maya felt tears threatening, but they weren't tears of humiliation anymore. They were something else entirely. Pride. Vindication. Justice. Zara squeezed her father's hand. Dad, you didn't have to come. We could have handled this. Marcus smiled, the warmth finally reaching his eyes. I know you could have. But you shouldn't have to. Not here. Not anywhere. And especially not on an airline I built specifically because I was tired of people like Sterling making people like us feel unwelcome. In the sky. He guided them toward the boarding gate, past the frozen security guards, past the humiliated former manager, past the silent witnesses. Their footsteps echoed with purpose, with dignity, with the sound of barriers breaking. At the gate, Marcus stopped and turned back one final time. His voice carried across the terminal, clear and unwavering. This company was founded on principles of equality, respect, and service. Today, those principles were violated. But they will be restored. Changes are coming. Big changes. And they start right now. Maya and Zara walked through the gate, their heads held high, their spirits unbroken. Behind them, the terminal erupted into frantic activity, phones ringing, managers scrambling, a system forced to confront its own corruption. On the plane, sitting in leather seats that suddenly felt earned rather than granted, Maya looked at her sister. That was intense. Zara laughed, the song releasing all the tension they'd carried. That's one word for it. Marcus settled into the seat across from them, his captain's uniform a reminder of journeys taken, obstacles overcome, and battles won. You both handled that with more grace than it deserved. I'm proud of you. We learned from the best, Maya said softly, as the plane lifted into the sky, breaking through clouds and climbing toward freedom. The three of them sat together, a family united not just by blood but by the shared experience of fighting for dignity in spaces designed to deny it. Below them, the terminal grew smaller, its problems becoming distant but not forgotten. Change was coming. Justice was taking flight. And hope, that most persistent of human emotions, soared higher than any aircraft could reach. The story would spread. The videos would circulate. Conversations would ignite. And somewhere, someone facing their own moment of discrimination would hear about three people who refused to accept injustice, who stood firm when the world tried to push them down, who proved that dignity cannot be taken, only surrendered, and they had surrendered nothing.